Hi guys, welcome to Trigonometry 1. Within this playlist there is 6 lessons, and today we're going to be looking at lesson 1. Just the introduction and labelling sides. So, trigonometry. Trigonometry translates to mean measuring triangles. And the trigonometry we're going to be looking at involves right angle triangles. And it's really the relationship between the sides and the angles within that right angle triangle. We're going to come across the term trigonometric ratio, and I've said that what we're going to be looking at works with right angle triangles. Hipparchus was considered the founder of trigonometry. And what trigonometry really is, so if you look at this example here that I've circled, you have been given the length of 2 sides, and trigonometry allows you to work out that angle inside that right angle triangle. Or, if we look at the other triangle here, again it's a right angle triangle, you actually might be given the angle already. You see you've been given the angle, you've been given one side, and you've been asked to find the value of this x, so this side here. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, on your calculator there is a sine, cos and tan button, so if I just zoom in on that. The sine button here, the sin button, sorry, is really the sine button. The cos is really the cosine, and the tan button stands for the tangent. These are the inverse functions up here that we'll come to later on to use. I'm just pointing them out on the calculator, what buttons that you need to use in order to do trigonometry. And in order to get these inverse functions up here, you would have to use your shift button on your calculator that I'm circling now. Okay. So in maths, we really like to put a label on things. So the sine, cosine and tangent, these labels really represent the ratios of sides of triangles. And those sides of the right angle triangles have special names, and we're going to look at those special names now. So here are the special names. We've got hypotenuse, we've got opposite, and we've got adjacent. So let's consider this is the angle that we have been given. Okay. From Pythagoras, you should know across from the right angle triangle, here's the right angle triangle here. So across from that there is the longest side, and that longest side is called the hypotenuse. Okay. This is the angle in question here, and the side across from that angle, or opposite that angle, is the opposite side, so that is called the opposite. And the last side is going to be called the adjacent. Adjacent means right beside. So the side here is called the adjacent. However, if you change the angle in question, the angle that you've been given or the angle that you have to work out, these sides may change. So let's have a look at that. Just clear this. Okay, I'm going to the next slide, and you can see that the angle in question is now up here. So again, across from the right angle, still going to be your hypotenuse. Across from the right angle, still going to be your hypotenuse. This is the angle that I'm looking at. This is the angle in question. So the side opposite that angle is now going to be this side. So this is now called opposite. And that last side, again the side beside the angle, is called the adjacent. So I would always label the hypotenuse first, then the opposite side, and then the last side would be called the adjacent. So let's just practice that. So you could pause the video now and maybe just practice labeling each of these sides. Where you see the blue dot, that is the angle in question. So that is what you're looking opposite from to find the opposite side. So if we look at the first one, look at the right angle. Across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. I quite often just abbreviate it to hype, or some people just write H. Opposite the angle in question, that's the angle in question. So this one's going to be the op, and the last one is going to be the adjacent. Okay, next one. Again, across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. Across or opposite this angle here is called the opposite, and the last one is called the adjacent. Next one, opposite the right angle, across from it is called the hypotenuse. This is the angle in question. So opposite that angle is the opposite sides, and the last side is called the adjacent. Next one, across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. This is the angle we're using, so opposite that angle. It's called the opposite, and the last one is called the adjacent. Next one, this gets a bit repetitive, but you really have to be really clear on how you label your sides. If you label them wrong, things won't work out and your question will be wrong. So you need to make sure you label your sides properly. So that's why it's good to practice. So this one's hypotenuse. You can just pause the video now and try it. I'm just going to write in the answers now. Opposite, adjacent. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that is helpful, and please tune in for lesson number 2. Thank you.